Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Just in from work and found out that I had a couple Blu-rays that have arrived. One's a Criterion and one is not. So first up, the non-Criterion. One of my favorite movies. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years. It was a favorite when I was younger. I'm hoping it's still going to be a favorite. It's a 1940 movie, black and white. I haven't heard anything about the picture quality, and I did not get it on sale. So normally I don't buy anything unless it's on sale, or unless I'm just so wanting it, and I've heard such good things about it, and it's hard to get or something. In this case, it just came out. Not that hard to get. Paid Amazon price, so it's discounted to some extent, I'm sure. But it's just a single Blu-ray, not a lot of extras. But anyway, the movie is The Grapes of Wrath, John Ford, winner of Academy Award for Best Director for John Ford's direction. It's a depressing movie if you've never seen it. It's the story of, post-depression workers who basically had to leave their homes, travel west to try to find any kind of work at all. Migrant workers, basically. And Henry Fonda stars in this movie as Tom Joad. And he and his family head out west in search of work because there isn't any. Food is hard to come by, and clothes are hard to come by, and everything's hard to come by. And they go out west to try to find work. And that's the basic plot. Here's the side of it. For those that like to see how it's going to look on the shelf, it's going to look something like this on the shelf. The back, I'm really hoping for a good picture quality on this. I'm guessing it will be. It's just such a classic movie that I would hope that they would do a good job with it. But I've read no reviews. I just saw it and said, I want it. I'm going to get it. So I'll find out. And I'm sure I'll post a review. If you can read these special features, probably not. Commentary. The Fox Movie Channel presents the Fox Legacy with Tom Rothman. Daryl F. Zanuck, 20th century filmmaker, is seen on Biography on the A&E Network, Fox Movie Tone News, and the theatrical trailer. All I really want is the movie on this one. I'd like some extras with it, don't get me wrong, but it is just such a good movie, based upon John Steinbeck's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel of the same name, and it's a great novel, by the way. I read the novel. I used to teach high school English, by the way. And this was a book I would almost always teach. And the movie of Grapes of Wrath was one, like I said, as a kid I watched it. I showed it when I taught high school English. And it's just a really great movie. A lot of emotion in it. Great acting by Henry Fonda and others. So, Grapes of Wrath. Depressing, but good. I'm really glad to add that to my collection. And the other one is a Criterion Blu-ray that Amazon's had on sale. Spine number 600, Anatomy of a Murder. Otto Preminger directed this one. And what a great movie this promises to be. It's a 1959 release originally. Obviously, it's a 2012 release now. But it stars James Stewart, Lee Remick, Ben Gazzara, Eve Arden, Catherine Grant. If I'm not mistaken, there's a young George C. Scott in this. Yeah, George C. Scott is in it as well. It's the story of a gentleman who is a Army lieutenant, that's Ben Gazzara, who was accused of murdering a local bar tavern owner who's accused of assaulting his wife, played by Lee Remick. And James Stewart is the defense attorney. George C. Scott is the prosecutor. There's an actual Joseph N. Welch, who is an actual lawyer, is Judge Weaver in the movie. It's about, I think it's like 3 hours long. Let me check and see the time on this. 161 minutes, so do the math on that one, guys. It's pretty close to 3 hours long. Black and white, 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio. You know, the orange is all the extras. There's a ton of them. A ton of extras, including alternate 5.1 soundtrack presented to DTS HD Master Audio, a new interview with Otto Preminger biographer Foster Hirsch. Critic Gary Giddens explores Duke Ellington's score in a new interview. Interesting with this movie, the score is by Duke Ellington, and about this time in the 50s, you know, the late 50s, jazz and the jazz band, you know, big band like Duke Ellington's band was kind of on the downslope, and he played the Newport Jazz Festival in 1956 with his band, and they played a couple of pieces that kind of interweave together, and there's a sax solo in between them, and the crowd was just getting whipped up into a frenzy during this sax solo, and Duke Ellington encouraged the sax player to keep playing and keep building the momentum. Well, they actually thought a riot was going to form, and the promoter actually had to have Duke Ellington. That was supposed to be the last number, I guess, and they actually had to have him come back out and play something mellow to quiet the crowd. They were really worried something was going to happen. So it revitalized his band, revitalized his idea to keep the band going, and probably led to him still being around with his band to be able to record what is supposed to be. I haven't seen this movie before, so I'm speaking from what I've read and what I've heard. Supposed to be an extraordinarily good soundtrack, and of course, Duke Ellington. Can't go too far wrong with the Duke Ellington soundtrack. So I can just imagine, the clarinets and the horns and I can just imagine how this is going to sound as a backdrop to a courtroom drama, which is really what this is. I mean, the basic setup of the murder takes place early on in the film, and then it's Jimmy Stewart's job to defend Ben Gazzara. And powerful performances all around is what the reviews say. So I can't wait to watch Anatomy of a Murder. Again, it's Criterion Spine number 600, in case you're keeping track. And that's what it looks like. Pretty sweet looking, actually. That's what it's going to look like on the shelf. It might look a little different on my shelf than it would look on your shelf, because I got a heck of a lot of Criterions. But some people have more than I do. A lot of extras here. Excerpts from a 67 episode of Firing Line featuring Otto Preminger, discussion with William F. Buckley Jr. That ought to be interesting. Excerpts from a work in progress, Anatomy of Anatomy. Behind the scenes photographs by Life magazine's Jean Milly. A trailer featuring on-set footage, plus a booklet featuring an essay by critic Nick Pinkerton. And a 1959 Life magazine article on real-life lawyer Joseph N. Welch, who plays the judge. So pretty cool stuff. I can see the booklet is fairly thick in here. There's the booklet right in there. Next to be 20, 25 pages, something like that. It's relatively heavy. I think it's a single disc, though. But nonetheless, it's a relatively heavy case. And I love the artwork on this one. Really happy with the artwork for Anatomy of a Murder. Just looks kind of cool. Don't know why. The orange, the red, the simple, design here of the body. Nowhere around here do you get the idea it's a courtroom drama, but it is. All right, guys, take care now.